Hi everyone and welcome. Today I'm going to be talking about Three Body Season 1 Episode 13, and I'm going to be walking you through this episode's plot and characters. I'll start by talking about Wang Miao and Shi Qiang, followed by Pan Han, Xu Yifei, and Mu Xing. And I'll then talk about the story of Ye Wenjie, Lei Zicheng, and Yang Weining. Finally, I'll wrap up with a brief summary. So grab some popcorn, sit back and get ready to dive in. And if you like this video and you want to see more, please don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget, the Three Body Problem VR game is just getting started, so make sure you subscribe to my channel to stay up to date. In Three Body Season 1 Episode 13, Wang Miao and Shi Qiang have a discussion about the Three Body Problem VR game. Wang Miao believes that the answers to the mystery lies within the game, while Shi Qiang is convinced that Ye Wenjie still holds the key to the entire case. He urges Wang Miao to not give up and keep trying to coax her into giving out information. Meanwhile, Xu Yifei voices her disapproval about the extremist acts of terror and assassinations that Pan Han and his associates have been undertaking. He accuses her faction of being too soft, and reminds her that it was the commander who started all of this initially. Mu Xing has already been thoroughly indoctrinated by Pan Han. She has adopted a risky approach to her journalistic career, in which she stops asking questions, and instead starts to focus on blaming science, instead of those responsible such as companies or polluters. Since she runs her own missions, she focuses her attention on Shen Yifei. In order to build a relationship with Science Grandma, Wang Miao offers to take her for a tour of the nanotech lab, before offering her a cup of tea. Afterwards, Wang Miao asks her for a list of books related to astronomy that can help him with the Three Body Problem game. He remarks to her how in her time one had to apply for such books in order to be able to read them, but currently, you can simply find these books on the internet. Furthermore, Wang Miao continues by asking about how she ended up at the Red Coast base. It is clear that Wang Miao greatly respects her and pays close attention to the details she provides. Ye Wenjie, her story in particular, is revealed to the audience. When we last left her, she was traveling on an army helicopter to an unknown destination. On board, she overheard a heated discussion between a political commissioner, Lei Zicheng, and a man that she recognizes to be Yang Weining, who used to be one of her father's students. He explains that his team needs Ye Wenjie because of her paper on astrophysics, and she is their best chance of success. Lei Zicheng informs Ye Wenjie that if she steps through the gate at the entrance, she might end up never leaving. This offer was preferable to the 10-year prison sentence she was previously faced with. Yang advises her not to step inside, as this might be the last chance for her to go free. However, Ye does not hesitate and steps through the gate, seeing it as a way of escaping death by starvation or hypothermia in an internment camp. Once inside, the scale of the operations and the size of the location become apparent. This effectively drives home the show's epic scale, considering that it was completed with a budget of just over 10 million USD. Yang might have saved Ye's life, not only out of a sense of obligation to her father, but also out of genuine care towards her. This is hinted at by Yang's behavior, as he shows concern for her in each turn, and even joins her when she goes on morning walks up to the peak of the observatory. At this point, Ye is still distrustful of everyone, as she is aware of the fact that she could be turning in for sedition any day. So, in this episode, we see Wang Miao and Shi Qiang discussing the Three Body Problem game, Pan Han and Xu Yifei facing off, and Ye Wenjie arriving at Red Coast and beginning a new life there. We also explore the possible relationship between Yang Weining and Ye Wenjie, which has been hinted at since the two first met at her parents' house. Pan Han is shown to be extreme in his actions, going to the lengths of terror and assassination to get what he wants. Xu Yifei strongly objects to this behavior and claims her faction to be too soft. She mentions the commander for the first time, who is responsible for starting the mission in the first place. Pan Han scoffs in response and insists that the commander is the one responsible. On the other hand, Mu Xing has already been thoroughly indoctrinated by Pan Han. She has adopted a risky approach to her journalistic career, in which she stops asking questions and instead starts to focus on blaming science instead of those responsible such as companies or polluters. Since she runs her own missions, she focuses her attention on Shen Yifei. Wang Miao and Shi Qiang take note of this behavior and are astute enough to realize the danger that the extremist tactics from Pan Han represent. Everyone was implicated in the society of the Cultural Revolution, and no matter what side you chose, it was always a life or death situation. As such, it emerged as an important issue for the show to tackle, albeit without mentioning the fact that millions died of starvation during that era, and that nobody knows how many people perished in the purges. The actions of Pan Han and Mu Xing's subtle change in attitude to her environmental reporting are important elements in Three Bodies Season 1, Episode 13. It is sure to provide future narrative opportunities and potentially hold the answer to some of the bigger mysteries at play within the whole series. We have seen the roles played by Pan Han, Xu Yifei, and Mu Xing in the 13th episode of Three Bodies Season 1. They all contribute to a larger narrative and provide potential future narrative opportunities. When we last left Ye Wenjie, she was on board an army helicopter, en route to a mystery destination. It's now revealed that she's been invited to Red Coast, a top-secret observatory, for a very special opportunity. On the helicopter, Ye overhears a heated argument between a political officer, Lei Ji-chung, and Yang Wei-ning. Yang is a former student of Ye's father, and now an esteemed scientist, has the power to overrule Lei's orders. He has invited Ye to Red Coast as he knows that her expertise in astrophysics is invaluable. In return, Yang would give her the opportunity of a lifetime to work at Red Coast and have her 10-year prison sentence waived. Although he warns her that the price might be spending the rest of her life at the facility, Ye does not think twice about taking the offer. After all, anything beats dying in an internment camp due to starvation, torture, or hypothermia. Finally, when Ye arrives at the facility, she is astonished at the scale of the operation. This gives the audience a glimpse into the immense production value that the show has managed to pull off in spite of its relatively low budget of around US $10 million, an enormous feat for a series with an inherently complex plot. At this point, it's not clear what Yang's intentions are. Has he saved Ye out of a sense of loyalty to her father, or is there something else at play? Tu Songyan's performance shows us the subtle nuances of this relationship as he looks at her longingly, takes her on special morning hikes, and shows inexplicable concern for her safety at every turn. It is possible that he has had a crush on her ever since he saw her at her parents' house when he was a student. Whatever the case, it is obvious that Yang has changed Ye's life. Despite Ye's continued distrust of everyone in her situation, she is slowly beginning to form a bond with Yang, pushing her one step closer towards unraveling the mystery of the three-body problem. When Ye steps into the Red Coast base, she stands in awe of the grandness of the building. She is amazed at the size of the facility and the various gadgets and machinery installed all around her. What's more impressive is its vastness, as if someone built it to house an entire city. This is something she has not seen anywhere before. Little does Ye know that this is where she'll eventually be spending the rest of her life. Anxious and scared, Ye is met by the chief technician who shows her around and explains the ongoing projects at the facility, including the construction of a supercomputer. But Ye does not understand the significance of that until the day she eventually finds out about the three-body problem. She also learns about the other two primary projects undertaken by Red Coast, which are the identification of celestial bodies and the detection of potential extraterrestrial life. As Ye starts to understand the mystery that Red Coast had been trying to uncover all these years, she starts to form a bond with Shen Yifei. This bond only gets stronger as time passes by, and increasingly reveals the secrets hidden behind the mysteries of the three-body problem and beyond. Ye, too, starts to feel more comfortable with her new life, even taking part in the midnight activities at the peak of the observatory and exploring the surrounding mountains on her own. However, little does she know that peril awaits in the shadows. Ye is still a prisoner, and if she ever slips up or dares to reveal her true identity, she will face dire consequences. Yet amidst all of this, one thing is certain: the three-body problem and its secrets still remain unsolved. Yang Wei-ning may have felt a connection with Ye Wenjie as soon as they met at her parents' house years ago. While his true feelings may have been a mystery to him, even he could sense the subtle connection between them. After taking her to Red Coast, he becomes increasingly protective of her, asking Lei Ji-chung if she can keep her possessions with her to make the transition more comfortable. When that's not possible, he takes it upon himself to provide her with a safe haven from the reach of the totalitarian state. Yang's concern for her at every turn, and his willingness to join her on her morning walks for the peak of the observatory, are all indicative of the growing attraction between them, with his performances hinting at a subtle love interest. As Ye slowly starts to open up to him and the crew of Red Coast, she slowly begins to realize the loyalty he holds for her, and the understanding that she can trust him. Yang begins to understand her personally, and starts to understand the backstory of her imprisonment, and why she needs safety and security. His admiration for her is also growing as he begins to understand her skill set and acknowledges her dedication to science and understanding of the three-body problem. At this point, he too faces peril, as being too friendly with an accused felon could result in his own imprisonment. Yet he continues to assist Ye during her stay at Red Coast, showing her the ropes and teaching her about the work at the facility. It's becoming more and more apparent that Yang is interested in Ye, motivated by his sense of duty towards her father, admiration and respect for her skills and knowledge, and eventually, a deeper and more personal connection. While he may not know it fully, his actions and his words are a reflection of his interest in her. Unaware of the danger lurking at her doorstep, Ye soon comes to realize her own feelings for Yang as well. Love and infatuation can be tough to explain, often hard to define even for the one experiencing it. It's something we see here with Yang and Ye, as they brave the tide of uncertainty in a time of danger. As the series progresses, Ye Wenjie and Yang Wei-ning's relationship grows to another tier, deepening even more the trust and loyalty between them, as well as a more passionate connection. Their romance is set in the backdrop of a hellish totalitarian regime, a world where danger often lurks around every corner, and one wrong step could lead to imprisonment, exile, or death. This makes their moments of comfort and security with each other all the more precious, as loving someone in a world that offers so little of it is an act of quiet defiance. Their moments together aren't overblown with grand gestures or exaggerated declarations of love. Instead, the series emphasizes their growing relationship with silence and somber moments, where the intensity between them shines through without the use of words. Yang is often seen looking at Ye with admiration and understanding, sometimes even wonder and a sense of fascination, while Ye reciprocates his kindness and loyalty and shows her trust in him with gentle touches or glances of appreciation. Their romance is a subtle yet powerful one, defined by a quiet but mutual understanding. We see them take comfort in each other's company and slowly build an emotional connection. Despite the fear of danger and the looming threat of arrest, they both know they can rely on each other through the greatest of perils. The danger and the struggles during their era only strengthen the bond between the two, as Ye and Yang look to each other for support, comfort, and understanding. We see them grow closer and familiarize with one another, until in the end, romance takes over and the two come together in a sacred embrace, a moment of joy and passion in an otherwise dangerous and tumultuous age. Ye Wenjie and Yang Wei-ning's romance reaches its fullest potential as the two give into their feelings and come together in a sacred embrace, with all the difficulty and danger of their time standing in the background, a reminder of the preciousness of the moment. The series emphasizes Ye and Yang's connection with subtlety, not shying away from showing their mutual admiration and deepening understanding for each other. Despite the perils of their era, the two discover trust and strength in each other, often taking comfort in each other's company. As the series winds down, we also witness the power of their feelings, as they finally come together and express all the feelings they were so desperately clamping down on. It's a powerful scene and a beautiful moment of pure joy, love, and romance. It's a reminder that in the depths of the darkest of times, hope and love can still exist. This is just a brief summary of the events of Three Body Season 1, Episode 13. We could keep talking forever about the lessons and inspiring qualities of this episode, but you can only fully understand its beauty and impact by watching it. So make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you'd like to discover more stories and episodes like this incredible one. Don't miss out on the opportunity to have your mind and heart fueled with entertainment from across Eastern and Western culture, and stay tuned for so much more.